Hi guys, and it's another quick foraging video, and again you might be able to recognize where we are. If you follow my channel you certainly will. There's some clues about to come very close, making quite a lot of noise any second. These are our pigs. So if you follow my channel you've probably seen me up and down here feeding my pigs, but what you will not have noticed, I bet you, is something going on the floor right by my feet. And down here we've got growing a rather glorious patch of a plant called hairy bittercress, and it is a real beauty. Now this is a plant, when I sort of started getting quite serious about foraging, this is a plant that eluded me for quite some time. It's in all the books, everywhere you... Would you mind keeping the noise down a second, guys? All the foraging books list it, and they all, you know, say it's a really common wild edible, and it is. But what always threw me, I think, is for the longest time I was looking for something much bigger. Just a bigger plant. Something a little bit more in size to this. But if I put my hand down, and it will probably give you a bit more of an idea as to the size of the plant. So it really is quite delicate. And what I'm trying to do is give you guys some tips as to how you might actually find it, as well as ID it, because the IDing is actually really simple, and we will get onto that next. But for now I just want to talk about how you find it, and I'm trying to help you by using all the mistakes that I made when I was looking for it, and I spent a long time looking for it. So basically I was always looking for the green rosette, and that's absolutely right, that is what you want to be looking for. But around this time of year, the thing that stands out first to me are the little white flowers. As you're walking around, those are the things that kind of stand out a little bit from what's around it. Those little white flowers. I'm not sure how easily that comes up in the video here, but it's like a dusting of white in amongst the ground. In terms of where you'll find it, it's a pioneer plant. So it's a plant that comes in first. And, you know, when an area has been, cleared and there's not much growing in it, like you can see here, it's a pioneer plant. It will come in and take on the hard work of being the first plant in an area. It's also one of the earliest plants that we forage for in the year. So it is out really early. So you're going to find it in, on paths, edges of gardens, places that are a little bit neglected, like the one we're in right now. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick some of it to show you. And hopefully, again, this will get across to you the actual size of it. I'm going to pick from one of the biggest ones here. This is one of the biggest ones, but most of them are much smaller. So, in fact, no, let me start with a small one to show you just the sort of size we're talking about. So this is one of the leaves, or the sets of leaves, from one of the hairy bittercress. You can see the size of it there. My thumb dwarfs it. Now, they do grow bigger than this. This is obviously a particularly harsh environment, and, this path gets walked a lot. They do grow bigger than this, but this one over here, I would say, is fairly typical. Yeah, I would say that is a fairly typical size. So certainly, once they get to this size, well worth foraging for. Now, hairy bittercress. There's three separate parts to that word: hairy, bitter, and cress. I think you should really only listen to one of them, because they're not that hairy. I don't think I can get my camera to focus sharply enough to show you the tiny hairs on here. I certainly can't see them myself with my naked eye without looking really carefully. So they're not that hairy, and they're certainly not that bitter, but they definitely are cress-like, and that's given away by their white cruciform flowers as well. But I just want to illustrate, I just want to get across really the deliciousness of this plant. It really is one that should be on your list if you haven't already tried it. It's beautifully peppery and cressy, not like hot. It's got a little bit of heat to it, but it's not, it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful plant. It's a beautiful plant to find, to look at and to eat. It goes really well with all the sort of things that regular cress goes with. So, you know, egg sandwiches, salads, etc. So I'm going to put up a whole plant now so I can show you a bit more. So there we go. And as you can see, it grows kind of like a rosette. I'm going to show you underneath so you can see it's more of a clump than a rosette, but each one of those flowers has 4 petals. They're closed up at the moment. Let me see if I can focus a bit better. So each one of those flowers will have 4 petals when they open up. It's actually after dusk. So at the moment, they've all gone to sleep for the night. But really the key identifier is the leaf pattern on each stalk. So if I separate a stalk again, like I've showed you before, and those stems come out with, you know, a leaf coming out either side, not exactly opposite each other, but pretty close, and then a bigger one at the end, and in a, you know, a bit of a rosette like that. And then if you've got the white flowers as well, there's nothing else really at this size that looks, in my opinion, anything like it. And you know, there's another one of those stalks. So there you go, hairy bittercress. It's not that hairy, it's not that bitter, it's definitely cress, and it's delicious. So make sure that you've added this one to your foraging watch list. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please make sure you like this video, leave me a comment down below, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and I will speak to you again really soon. Cheers, guys.